Small town. Damn, that's you strictly. Small town. Damn, that's you strictly.
2 championship points for Arthur Ashe. That's it! And he's done it. He really has done it.
Today marks the 32nd anniversary of the death of Arthur Ashe. Was the first black man to win the Australian and US Open and still remains the only black man to win the singles title at Wimbledon. Word to the highlight. I'm your co-host, Small Town EP, joined by your host, Wade Julian, joined by a special guest this evening, friend of the show, Miami Delphia West. Great to have you on. We're back to give you the real in sports. You're now tuned in to your number one sports talk show on the All Things Sports Network, brought to you by Small Town Productions. Ticker up top, very accurate, brought to you by ESPN Bet. Fellas, first off, special guest, like I mentioned, Miami Delphia West. How you doing, man? It's great to have you on the show. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate y'all boys having me, man. You already know it's all love when y'all boys come calling, you feel me? Especially my boy June, you feel me? He hit me up, so you know I definitely gotta answer and slide through for my boy. You you already know it's Eagles Day. You feel me? Eagles weekend. You hear me?
Hey, we're gonna get to it. Julian, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's Super Bowl week. NBA trade deadline, was today. So I just want to get to business with y'all, man, because I wanted to get a little, I'm a little messy, so I had to bring the Eagles fan on, what I'm saying, to disturb some peace before Super Bowl Sunday, because we're either gonna see redemption at its finest or history.
Nah, word to that. Yeah.
But EP, man, they saying Luka playing for the Lakers now. They saying KD staying. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's get it now. Before we take it into the festivities that's going on in New Orleans this weekend, because I know that's what most of the listeners want to listen to. We're gonna get to some monumental trade deadlines in the NBA for real. We already spoke about earlier this week Luka going over to LA. Now, the bigger news since then is that Jimmy Butler is finally, as the media says, out of South Beach. It's downtown Miami, but out of South Beach. He's on his way to be a Golden State Warrior. June, is this the piece that Golden State was missing? We talked a couple weeks ago about, can they make a push before the All-Star break? Is this the piece that could possibly get them to, maybe higher seed in the play-in or in those top 6 seeds?
I think they're missing a few pieces, if we're being honest. This is a great addition. I want to say that. First and foremost, also, I want to thank Jimmy Butler for everything, just what he did for Heat Nation, what he did for South Florida and the community, as far as what, from basketball to off the court, like, he really made the most of his time here, because during the Big Three era, it was fun. It was great. we were supposed to win not one, not two, not three. You know, that was the expectation. Jimmy coming in 2019 and us having, you know, a rookie like Tyler Hero and a guy like Bam who's trying to be a focal point of this franchise, we turned that shit up. You know what I'm saying? He turned that up. And so for that and the time, you know, the good and bad, hard times, it was a good ride. But uh, it did end sour, and you know there was some clown activities, I could say, on both sides from a fan's perspective. But
Yeah.
it's over now, and one day hopefully we'll I guess honor him in some way. I do want to say though, another one bites the dust, man. Like last week we had AD. We had AD last week with the Lakers, and now it's like, you know, I'm gonna just keep looking through my closet because I might be Sham. Shout out to Shams, Shari, and the Shari Shams, whatever. Sorry for blundering your name, bro. But shout out to him for working, you know, hard this week and getting us all the news. I gotta look at my closet because clearly everybody in there is getting traded, so I might have to scoop for real, for real.
You might.
To bring it back, yeah.
Nah, keep going. You good. You good.
Nah, my fault. I was gonna say this to bring it back to the actual question. I like I said, I think the Warriors are missing a few pieces, and Jimmy Butler is a great piece to start off with. It's something that you can say, all right, well, we do have another star player again next to Steph Curry, albeit I guess, and just finishing his prime or getting out of his prime. Udonis Haslam was on ESPN, and he stated that he knows Jimmy Butler. He played one-on-one versus him every day, and he still got a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that he's probably got his joy back. He'll be with one of the greatest players ever, top probably two in this generation. You know, and I think they'll be a better team than they were. I was going at it with Nate, Johnny, and Martin in the group chat, and they were saying that they like this team got worse. And I'm like, look, I mean, I get that they traded, you know, a few pieces, and they traded their depth as well. Not all of it, but they traded some depth. But you add a guy like Jimmy Butler, I mean, you know, that type of talent in those big moments in the playoffs when you need a guy to do something, that's the guy who's going to do something. And so he moves the needle more than the Andrew Wiggins right now in their situation with what they had going on, and a guy who they acquired, Dennis Schroeder, in a trade this year, just a couple months ago. And so I think they're better, but it's nothing. It's nothing for me to like. Okay, now they're contending in the West with Dallas, and even the Lakers, right? Because the Lakers kind of look like some contenders now.
No, absolutely. Wes, I I saw a crazy stat earlier today. We've all seen it all season. Steph Curry, like you mentioned, June, on that Golden State team, of course, he's been getting triple teamed, double teamed, quadruple teamed all season. They're sending blitzes at him like it's zero,
Yeah.
like it's a zero package for real. And the stat I saw
Yeah.
earlier was that this season, Steph Curry has more games with 15 or less points than he has games with 30 or more points. Is Jimmy Butler
Wow.
going to be able to alleviate that a little bit, Wes?
Uh, damn, I didn't even know that stat. I didn't even get a chance to see that stat, to be honest with you. But he definitely can alleviate and help out Steph Curry. He gonna open up a lot of opportunities for him. You know, with Jimmy Butler driving to the basket, so now everything gonna crash down on him. So now he can kick it out. You know, Steph, he's a shooter. Shooters gonna shoot.
Yeah.
So that definitely gonna open up a lot of things. And then them also having Buddy Hield also help them out too. So definitely Kevon Looney. I know he's not playing the best right now, but definitely just having somebody Jimmy presence, kind of championship pedigree, gonna definitely grab everybody up and then help
Yep.
Steph Curry out. To help Steph Curry out, hit the open shots when they come his way. So I definitely think Steph Curry gonna jumpstart. Well, Jimmy Butler definitely gonna jumpstart everything up and have them boys on go mode.
But and then on the other end of that trade, crazy. On the other end of that trade, the Heat temporarily had Kyle Anderson, shipped him off to Toronto. Get out of here.
So
And
you know what? I want to say that he ended up staying in Miami. Kyle
Oh, for real?
Anderson. Yeah, I think he ended up staying in Miami, bro. And I wasn't too happy about it, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Wiggins and D. Mitch, not Donovan Mitchell, but Davion Mitchell in Miami now. June, how are these additions to the Heat culture going to pan out the rest of the season?
I'm happy because we have these two players who are young and you can build with them. And I also think that Andrew Wiggins going through what he did, in the finals, having like the highest of highs, and then right after we hear about like personal issues and stuff, and him going to lows. He was in a situation where organizationally they knew what they had going on and what they're doing, right? Unfortunately, the talent on the team didn't, it kind of like bled out. And so and they lost Klay Thompson. He was never in a dysfunctional situation, like he wasn't. We got to revive Andrew Wiggins. He's just got to find his footing again, and he's been playing pretty good this season. So I think he'll be able to have an immediate impact here on offense and defense, and alongside Davion Mitchell, who's a pest. Like, I'm just glad we got a guy like him for when we play teams like Atlanta with Trae Young, or a quick guard like Brunson. Even when we have a Donovan Mitchell and we want to throw another body like Davion Mitchell. And again, I'm not here going to say like this is a defensive player of the year, but he is a top five guard defender. So maybe I am saying he is a top defender in this motherfucking league. And maybe I am excited for that. So that's a little bit of that. But I also want to just say this about the Heat. The fact that now they understand who the team is going to be for the rest of the season and what it's going to look like on our way to the playoffs and on the quest, it's got to be a little refreshing to feel like, all right, bet this is the group, everybody want to be here, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a little headache at that point of the season where it's the dog days of the NBA right before the break, and you got this looming decision. And is he going to stay with Miami or is he going to go? And you know what? Thank you. We finally got the deal done. Shout out to Pat Riley, Andy Ellisberg, and all them for making it work, because we could have gotten worse. We almost got KD apparently, and he made a move happen by getting value when somebody really just didn't want to be here anymore.
No, absolutely. And I love, real quick, Wes, if you could just scoot a little bit to the right for me, a little bit to your right for me. I want you to stay in frame. But I love the clip of D Wade talking about the Heat organization and how it's not. Yeah, you're good. You're perfect right there. And how it's not an organization or a team that needs to find its identity. The identity is already there, and they get players that fit that identity. I just love those comments from Dwayne Wade. I wanted to kick it over to the chat real quick. Shout out to the chat. Brill in there, McKelly in there. McKelly's saying that the new Madden curse is the June jersey curse, June. So that's that's actually quite amusing. Quite amusing. Now,
can I just say something real quick about the
absolutely,
Butler situation? Now, I definitely think Jimmy Butler definitely handled the whole situation a bit immature and definitely distasteful to my liking, because at the end of the day, you're making $48-50 million a year in a state where there's no state tax. So you get shifted off.
Talk that talk.
You get shifted off to Cali where the fucking tax is crazy.
The highest tax for professional players.
I don't know the tax rate, but I know it's high as hell. And all you had to do, all Pat Riley said was shut up, stay healthy, and we're gonna talk about your contract later on down the line after the season. That's all you got to do. Shut your damn mouth, put your work pail on, put your work boots on, and go to work. Like, that's all you got to do. Now you could be you played in two out of the 3 finals, something like that. No, COVID, and then what year was that? 2022.
2 finals, yeah, 20 and 23.
Okay, 20 and 23. So you played in 2 finals. You was what, a couple games away from well, we know what happened with Denver, but when you played against the Lakers,
yeah,
you was in there. Now you just needed another piece. They could have helped you out. Could have traded for somebody if you would just shut your mouth and then went to go play ball. But hey, he now he's with Steph. The Heat definitely picked up a defender like Davion Mitchell. He fit the mold of the Heat, and this is coming from somebody that's a Kawhi Leonard fan. You feel me? But I do ball, so it's like what Heat preach is play defense. Your defense gonna turn into your offense. You feel me? So it's like I like seeing Bam. He's starting to come into his own. Tyler, he definitely been surprising me this whole entire year. You feel me? So he took that extra leap, and so now they just got to cultivate and mesh with one another, and then they will be able to, do their thing in the East.
What up? McKelly in the chat also saying Davion Mitchell held Shai Gilgeous, or defended Shai Gilgeous for an entire game. That's not an easy task, as we all know. He scored 50 plus points in the last 3 Wednesdays. Someone in my other chat sent that. They said,
I saw that this
he
morning.
said, "Hey, I'm just sending that for next Wednesday," which is funny. I want to let's take it over to the West Coast. I know we were just talking about the Golden State Miami trade. What's up, June?
Now I was gonna show you. I was talking to my boy Dante. Shout out to my boy Dante. I was talking to him earlier. He had sent me something about Shai Gilgeous on the gram, and I sent him a voice note.
42.5 next Wednesday, bro. They said this nigga scored 50 on 3 straight Wednesday nights. That might be the play next week.
That might be the play next week.
That might be the play next week.
Hey, EP, you've been a little iffy the last 2. We got the secret right here. This is the play. We don't record Wednesdays. Damn, we got the lock and we not recording.
We not recording. We'll be here Monday. I got one for the night. We're gonna correct it. I'm on 3. I'm on 3, but we go. Only way to go is up from the bottom, like I said last week. But before that, we'll get into that before we get to the NFL. So let's get through this. We'll head over to the Lakers right now, man. Mark Williams, Duke alumni, member of the Brotherhood. I got to put that out there first and foremost. 17 and 10 he's averaging, and he's on his way to LA to join LeBron and Luka. Is this the lob player that Luka asked for, Wes?
He can be. Now it's all about, can you fit into the mold and what he wants. He can mention it now. It's just about y'all put together and y'all bringing that camaraderie with one another. And so he can be, but he just gotta, he definitely gotta bring his behind to come play. So I definitely think so.
Yeah.
June?
I'm with you on that. I've heard like effort concerns voiced, but product of your environment is a thing in professional sports as well. And so when there's no established culture or established leadership or winning, habits, that happens with players a lot. And we've seen this time and time again with the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, Kemba Walker, this guy had a hell of an NBA career. Al Jefferson was an amazing player in this league, but unfortunately was overshadowed by bad management, in Charlotte. And so Lonzo Ball, Brandon Miller being there right now, and they had Mark Williams. They was like, you know what? We can trade him. We'll take another first-round pick. And right now, Charlotte has put themselves in a good position for the future where, they got the next 7 first. They got their next 7 first overall picks, first-round picks, excuse me. And they just made a good trade where they take Nurkic $19 million for this and next year, or he has like 17 or 19 this year, next year, and they get a first-round pick out of that because the Suns just had to get rid of that contract and I guess the energy that he had in the locker room. So, the Lakers, if I could talk about Mark Williams and the impact I think he's going to have with the Lakers, being the product of the environment, it should work, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to be with the best, player of this generation alongside one of the best players, if not the next best player of the generation going forward. And they're both, savants of the game with a rookie coach who has a new way of doing things. And I think they all understand that they need each other at this moment because everybody just got here, everybody kind of just trying to settle in. LeBron is the long-standing guy, and to work alongside him is not the easiest thing, but if you kind of, I guess, do as the job is supposed to be, you should be straight. So I don't expect this to be the splash off the rip, but I think with time we'll see him become a way better and more dependable 7-footer. But for now, I think he'll make a good impact for them. You muted up.
Hey, you got muted, bro.
Damn, it's been like
you've been on a
shout out to Ant in the chat saying Mark is gonna be there for the rebounds, which I respect. I love. I think this is gonna be. I think now is why I'm like, okay, this is gonna be something serious in LA. LeBron's energy right now is just up. You know, people are saying, damn, he probably should be his loyalty. Like I was saying the other day, his loyalty to AD's probably gonna have him a little. Nah. Like you were saying, he's a basketball savant. He's in there to win. He wants to win. He's out here dunking on people and looking at Luka like, yeah, when you get out here, this is what we about to do. So take notes, young
Right.
whippersnapper, right? Hey, in the Midwest, Milwaukee adds Kyle Kuzma to the team. June, you were saying maybe this will help him care more about basketball. Not me, but tell the listeners and the viewers why you feel that way.
Well, I mean, if you've seen what he's been the last few years in Washington, I feel like him and Jordan Poole went over there and it kind of gave them the freedom to play this careless basketball to an extent. And his play has declined since he's been a Laker and since he's had his, rookie season and magic that we thought Kuzma with this, limitless potential could have been. I think things took a turn at one point, and then it became. I don't want to disrespect him and say like unserious basketball because it's not that to that extent. I just think that Kyle Kuzma. Shout out to Ant in the chat. He said Kyle Kuzma would make a hell of a globetrotter, and that's the shit I'm talking about. So like, I just believe that him being in this situation with a championship pedigree player like Giannis, knowing how serious and passionate he is about competition, it has to, again, product of your environment. It goes back to that, man. And having guys in your locker room that are veterans that have been there, done that, are tough, understand offense, like all of these little factors influence you. And I think Kyle Kuzma will definitely be in a good position for himself personally, and whether the Bucks get the most out of him or if we can see the remnants of 2018 Kyle Kuzma, I mean, hey, but I don't know. We'll see. I think they had to get rid of Chris Middleton, really, and that's what this is doing here. So the Bucks to me were never a threat this year, and I don't think you want to play them necessarily in the first round, but you're not also scared of the Bucks. So
I think that 2018 year passed Kyle Kuzma by. I'm just be real. Like he bad business. He bad business. I'm sorry. He's just not it. He had his little run with Lakers, and he got his ring. But if you can't be a star player in Washington, then something is wrong. I'm just saying, and I mean that respectfully.
Hey man, what didn't happen very respectfully is Dennis Schroeder he's talking about NBA being modern day slavery, and then Golden State are playing in Utah and they go, hey, we gonna ship you, don't even get on the plane, bro. Like they say, yo, don't even get on the plane. He was supposed to go to Miami, went to Utah. Utah was like, hey, honestly, get on a plane and take your ass to Detroit. Dennis Schroeder, 3 teams in a matter of 18 hours is wild. I don't even know how he's gonna what kind of addition he's gonna add to this Detroit team that's very young with Kate Cunningham. June, how you feel about Dennis Schroeder in Detroit?
Here's the thing. For me, I will separate the personal from the basketball. I do not appreciate or respect what he said the other day about how the NBA is like, modern slavery. Like, I don't even feel like I have to explain why I feel a way about that but when I heard he was traded to the Heat, I'm like, fuck. I was talking shit about him, which I still stand on. He sound like an idiot, but he's a good player. Like, let's not act like Dennis Schroeder wasn't balling for the Nets this year. Like, he was balling before the trade. They traded him to the Warriors, and his play maybe regressed a little bit, but that's a tough system that, you got to get in there and try to fit in. And to me, Dennis Schroeder doesn't sound like a Warriors guy. So they moved on from him, and I thought that we could use a ball handling, point of attack defender like Dennis Schroeder, who is not a 3-point shooter but can knock down a shot. He's confident as a player and he's tough. And I think Dennis Schroeder as a basketball player, he has not good things about him. He's not a great basketball player by like contracts, and it's nothing like that. But I thought we could have used him. I wasn't upset that we didn't because of the personal feelings. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Nico, shout out to Nico. He called me last night and he was like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, I just want to hear your thoughts. Like, we finally traded Jimmy, XYZ, XYZ. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna wait. Like, we talked about it and how I felt about that specific trade, but I was like, I can't give you my full thoughts because we still got tomorrow, and I don't feel like the Heat are done right now. He's like, why the fuck we got PJ Tucker back? I'm like, yeah, I feel you, but I don't think we done. And if we are, like, we'll have this conversation tomorrow and we'll question on why the hell we traded for PJ Tucker. But let's just wait till 3:30 tomorrow to talk. And I guess we'll see everything and how it panned out. But we still have not had that conversation. So shout out to Nico, but I'll call him probably later tonight. Yeah, bro.
I just want to say one thing about the Dennis Schroeder. That's another one. You can't be a baller if Utah don't want you.
Hey, it's crazy? I didn't even get into, like, you asked me about the Pistons, like how I feel like he could, because I went into the person. So the basketball as well, like, I think that the Pistons right now are a young team who can use a guy like Schroeder as a veteran backup guard who will fill a role and it's depth. I mean, it's depth at the end of the day. It's not like he's going to come in there and change anything up. But for what they're trying to do this year with their young core, I think he can help them take the steps, continue to take the steps in the right direction. I mean, this Pistons team went from, like, winning 19 games last year to, like, winning 19 games by, like, a month ago,
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Definitely, I definitely feel he would serve as an asset in the locker room because he's a veteran. That veteran presence also. Learning little tricks and trades from LeBron and D'Lo, and I believe he played with AD if I'm not mistaken. So learning things from them, he can instill into Cade Cunningham and they have another one. I believe
Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, Jaden.
But he out for the season.
Yeah, he out for the season, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I definitely feel he can serve as an asset in the locker room, but on the court, nah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. I mean, they did lose their starting two. You know what I'm saying? So this is just, it helps at the end of the day. Brill said, I know he's a champion, but Kyle Kuzma has no business trolling the organization with a whole link to a short farewell message. And that's a fact. That was crazy.
Yo, and Ant said Kyle Kuzma would make a great Globetrotter, and that's even crazier, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ant said, plus he had the wizard patch, so he a YN at heart.
That's crazy.
And then oh wow, I want to read this as a joke. Rodney, he said we already have Terry, as far as probably why we wouldn't keep Schroeder. And everybody wants Terry Rozier's head in Heat Nation. Like, our fan base was like, yo, get rid of this guy. Why are we still playing him? Why are we still paying him? Spoelstra, you're so stubborn. You've lost us games and cost us games because of Terry Rozier himself. And the other night he just went for 20. It's crazy. Like, I swear. So I be trying to hate too low key because he be getting me tight sometimes, but then he be doing some shit. But all in all, there is a time where Spo needs to stop being so stubborn and feeling like, oh, he'll get out of this. You know what I'm saying? Terry Rozier went on a statistically historically bad stretch of shooting over like a good 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And for Spo to kind of just like hammer down on like his confidence in him, I get that you don't want him to lose confidence in himself, but you're hurting the team now because you're putting this player in front of other players that could possibly play better, and so there was no reason when we lost to the Bulls and we gave up a 24-point lead, the Bulls, I said 24-point lead.
Oh, I had money on y'all that night. I'm well aware. Walk down.
Yeah, and they came back. We had Duncan Robinson on the bench who had like 8 points in 8 minutes, and Terry Rozier shooting 0 for fucking forever, and he's playing all fourth quarter minutes, crunch time minutes, taking shots.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm excited to see, like I said, what this has to, like, how we're gonna go forward, Miami specifically, because now everybody in the league got they roster. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Ingram is a Raptor now. This is the first all-time NBA super play-in team I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had Khalil Ware's rebounds that night and that cash, but the Heat minus 2.5. I saw the score at the end of the third quarter. I was like, they bet not let that happen. And the shit fucking happened. Hey, listen, last night I had to sweat out Rudy Gobert's rebounds, and he got me there.
Oh wow, that was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little. Let's go with a different verse next time.
And he got there in the fourth quarter. After the first quarter, he had 2 rebounds. I text Ant. I said, "Yo, this motherfucker think it's a game. I know a couple Frenchmen. I send a text through the WhatsApp real quick." Anyway, but he got there, and I had Brandon Pazinski points, and he got there like in the second quarter. Shout out to that boy. He appreciates a good man's coin. You heard? Before we take it over to the Super Bowl preview.
Hey, All Things Sports Podcast does not know any Frenchmen. Those were EP's thoughts and feelings. West, Miami Delphia West don't know any Frenchmen. We are to remain innocent.
Hey, late night game. If you want to stay up and watch it, be my guest. If you want to just place the bet and wake up to some cash, be my guest. Kings at Portland. I got Kings on the money line tonight. Kings on the money line. I got them taking a nice win on the road, a win that they need to get. And Sabonis assist tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I sprinkled a little bit on Sabonis assist. They were low at plus money. I think you get them at 7 at like plus 142, which is kind of crazy. Could be a trap, but if it is, they better bring a big ass net because I'm all in. Hey man.
Hey, but real quick though, I do, just since you brought it up, like Portland been on a tear, bro, and they didn't make a move. They didn't change up the roster. They got the same chemistry going right now. They're like, yo, this juice is flowing right now. We gonna keep going. Fuck the trade. We're gonna keep everything. I don't know why, but we're gonna keep everything. And the Kings are, they've gone through this roster reconstruction, over the span of 6-7 days now, or less than. So I'm sure if you do win, you're gonna have some nice money. That's what you said.
You heard. Hey man, there's a lot of festivities going on in New Orleans. Kev is down there right now with King of Cars. They're having a blast. Of course, it's Super Bowl weekend. Kansas City, Philadelphia. The line has moved in the last couple of days from Kansas City minus 1.5 to Kansas City minus 1. The money is coming in on Philadelphia right now. Miami Delphia in the building, West in the building, our resident Eagles fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking this as humbly as possible because listen, I've already told June we can put 10 in the box and maybe limit Saquon, but then we got to worry about AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So I don't know what's going to happen on my end of the defense, but what I do want to know is on your end of the defense, on the Eagles side of the defense, how do you guys stop Patrick Mahomes?
You got to get pressure on him. Our DBs definitely got to lock up. We got to hold our man. It's going to be tough because that motherfucker Kelsey and Worthy, they can get open and get busy at any given time. But if we get pressure to him, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and by the way, y'all right tackle, Juwan Taylor, he gave up a lot of penalties, false starts.
You know how I feel about him.
You can just say the most penalties. You don't got to say a lot. He's number one. Like,
yeah, he gave up a lot of penalties. So Nolan Smith,
Jenkins.
Nolan Smith definitely gotta be licking his chops, seeing that on the scouting report. So and then Jalen Carter, y'all gotta send 2 people at him. So now it's 1-on-1 with Sweat and we have many other D tackles, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis. So 1-on-1 with them 2 big boys. I like us, and then our DBs strap up. We good to go. But Patty gonna be Patty though. I'm gonna say that. Patty
for sure. The Eagles defense will probably see in the first drive that the Chiefs have about 10, 12 different schemes, different formations. And you are very familiar with Andy Reid. He's gonna throw a bunch of different schemes at you in the first drive. June, how are you feeling about this Eagles defense versus this Chiefs offense?
You guys just hit the nails on the head, man. This game is like a perfect matchup And a lot of people are saying this might be a boring Super Bowl XYZ. I think we're gonna have a great football game. The last time they played, I think Jalen Hurts threw for like damn near 500 yards on their ass. And it's obviously a different situation now, and that's not gonna be the game plan. And I understand that. But why I think this is such a good game is because you got to look at matchups, right? Patrick Mahomes versus any defense is gonna be all right. He gonna be all right. He gonna have to figure certain shit out, but he gonna be all right. But then you get to breaking it down, and you like, you know what? Patrick Mahomes is going against two rookie cornerbacks who playing really, really good football all season long. And the Eagles really stole both of them boys out the draft this year. If they strap up, oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to see Patrick Mahomes try to turn it up a little more. But guess what? I'm gonna in this tail of the tape, I'm gonna get a benefit of the doubt to the receivers and to the Kansas City offense, and for Andy Reid to kind of confuse those young guys into maybe some mental lapses here and there. And then when you got DeAndre Hopkins one-on-one, it's up to you to beat him, right? So I'm gonna get that side of the Chiefs, but then you go break down that offensive line, man. Sheesh, it's gonna be a long night. It's going, the biggest thing the Kansas City Chiefs like to do is line up already by the quarterback. They on the right tackle like to be 5 yards in the backfield, like he about to get the height, he about to get the handoff. So, like you said, Sweat is gonna be like if Dean was in the game. Oh man, I feel like that'd be night for that O line, and it still might be night, but you're lucky they got one on. You know what I'm saying? They got one on you. So Jalen Carter is to this game what Aaron Donald was to the Rams Super Bowl in 2021. They need it. And that's a big thing for me to say, like, but we're talking about one of the best defensive players of all time. But I think with the trajectory, Jalen Carter can be this league's best defensive player ever one day, or a top 10 defender ever in this league one day if he stayed the course. So with that being said, these are the moments he's got to make this mark. And it ain't the hardest team to do it against. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City O-line, they know how to play together, and they good. But they quarterback saved their ass throughout the season because of how athletically gifted he is and how erratic his arm can be. Now, let's talk about the linebackers versus the tight end matchup. Ooh, Zach Bond, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Is he going to get it? Is he not? It don't matter because he playing like it. Travis Kelce. The boy do everything, bro. And Wes, I know you notice. He going off. I know you notice. He's going off. Don't let him go too off. And don't let him get in the end zone. That's what the Eagles defense can. He could get the yards. Let him eat up the field. Don't let him get that touchdown. Don't let him get that touchdown. So I'm going to have to get that side to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right? Boom. And that's how I see it on all three levels for the tail of the tape. I got 2 out of 3 going to KC, and y'all just not being the beneficiaries because y'all got some younger players on defense, and we done seen what these boys done and did and can do and will do to you. So I want to say this. Best defense in the league, it stands for something. But it has to be complemented by the other side of the ball. And that's going to be the key for the Eagles to win. I do think y'all could win, Wes. I'm cheering for the Eagles. Shout out to Philly, bro. I got family in Philly. I was born in PA. My sister, them Eagle fans. Shout out to Philly. Got a lot of love. I ain't got no hate for KC. I would love to see Patrick Mahomes win 3 straight Super Bowls. That's crazy. Andy Reid, shout out to you. I remember when you lost to 2004. I was sad. But look, in order for the Eagles to win the game, Wes, I want to get it back to y'all because y'all the fans here. I just had to get my shit off. Saquon Barkley has to be who Saquon Barkley is. They cannot be this is the game where they nah. Don't say that shit now. Don't save it for the end. Nah. Be who you are tonight. And I believe the Eagles are gonna do that. Like what concerns me. All right, you know what? Nah, I don't want to get too ahead of it. I'm gonna let y'all get y'all shit off. Saquon Barkley, no excuses. Gotta be who he is, and y'all can win this game. Let me ask you this now, real quick, EP. I want to ask you this. Understand that y'all have never played Saquon Barkley, being the Chiefs, in his career. Y'all have never played him. You haven't seen the speed, how elite it is, how hard it is to tackle him in open space, right? knowing that the Eagles have a down O-line right now, they center is hurt, right? They interchanging pieces, and the guy who's replacing them is hurting himself. Do you think Chris Jones winds up to be the player of this game or not? Yes or no. That's it.
Just yes or no. I think he'll be a factor, but the player of the game, I don't think so. I can't say he's going to be a player of the game. Now, Wes, would you say real quick? You know what? I'm gonna let you rebuttal that. What were you saying, Wes?
I was gonna say, alluding to that, I definitely think that if Chris Jones he's more than likely he's gonna be over. He's probably gonna be in one technique for my football heads that's in the chat or whatever that understand ball. One technique is the inside shade of the guard, so that means he's gonna be going against what's his name, Becton. He's going to be going against Becton and a little bit of Cam Jurgens and things of that nature. If he ended up lining up on maybe heads up on Jurgens or maybe slightly on the outside shoulder of him, but nonetheless, Becton's just got to control him. If you control him and you control,
can I let you get that off just so simply? He just got to control him, because we could have said that about Jalen Carter.
No, hold on. I'm gonna say this. Chris Jones, best D tackle in the league. I understand Jaden Carter is here to stay. But right now, Chris Jones, the big dog. Now that Aaron Donald retired, so I give credit to when credit is due. But if you slow him down, and what I mean by slow him down, because if you see Chris Jones, big time moments, big time plays, you have to be a big time player to make a play for you. So when he playing when he playing an electrifying running back, you see that he get TFLs. If you hold him up for 2 seconds, Saquon's gonna go hit that hole regardless. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all you gotta do is hold him. I'm not saying you contain him the whole game, because
I got you.
He's that great. But if you hold Chris Jones and also who is your DN 56? Karlaftis.
George.
Karlaftis. Hold on, say that one more time.
George Karlaftis.
George Karlaftis. Karlaftis.
Yeah.
He got tongue twister as the last name. But if you contain him, which Lane, the best right tackle in the league, so if he do what he do, he hold his job. Now what we got to do? Just run the ball. We know y'all DC gonna love to send a blitz or whatever. Now Hurts got to check out the line, hit AJ on the slant or whatever. You like Chip McDuffie to tackle AJ?
I do. We're not gonna do that, but I do like him to tackle him. He still gonna catch the ball though. Trent McDuffie like that. Don't do that.
Oh, he is like that. No. Trent McDuffie one of the best.
I know you're saying the size thing. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I think he could do it. I think he could bring that. He get caught like AJ Brown go catch the ball, but I think McDuffie will bring him down. He ain't gonna sun him like that.
I'm gonna just say this: AJ Brown did blur his ass last time he played.
Hey, they great players make great plays.
Facts. Hey, and I appreciate you, Wes, mentioning George Karlaftis, because I was big on him before he was him. I mentioned his name when we traded away the Honey Badger, and I told June all the time. June laughed at me when I met. He said, "Who? Come on."
I still don't like
June
that.
said, "Who? Come on, man." Hey, but Wes, I was gonna ask you earlier. Obviously, Saquon Barkley leading the league in the postseason and leading the league in rushing yards in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Is he the most important player on the field that is not a quarterback this Sunday?
Let's see. Yeah. Because everything run through him. Our offense been predicated, turn around, hand that pill off to 2-6. 2-6 is gonna do what he gonna do. You feel me? But don't get it mistaken. Y'all gonna send 8-9 men in the box. Don't think Hurts won't beat you with his arm, because like we seen he did in the last Super Bowl. Miles Sanders went out. We only ran the ball 16 times. He outplayed Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl, so
he
Hurts
did.
Can beat you with his arm too now.
He absolutely did. That game had me sweating, and it's a rematch 2 years later of Super Bowl 57. Wes, do I need to ask you who you got?
You already know. You see the sweatshirt. I'm just saying.
There it is. Hey, and the viewers know who I got, because they see the hat, they see the gear, they see the colors on. June, the tiebreaker. I know you said you got, if this was a rap battle, you had Chiefs 2-1, but who's your pick?
Now, if it became a money thing, I'm putting that bread on motherfucking Patrick Mahomes, man. And you got to
Money
know that.
burnt.
You know why? Hey, money could burn, but you live more comfortable knowing your money was placed in a good place. Bad things happen to it. You ain't put your money in a silly spot and something bad. Listen, I ain't leave my bike outside and they got stole. They came in my door. They broke in my door and stole my bike out the crib. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
I
That's
left my bike
how
on
I
the
feel
street one
about.
time. I ain't gonna lie.
I think we all did.
I think we all did with this. Look, I ain't leave my bike outside and they stole my bike. They came in the crib, cracked my lock, and took the bike. And that's where my money is. It's on Mahomes, man. It's the safe bet. To be honest, I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles to win this game. I do want them to win. Whether they win or lose, it's not gonna really kill me. Sometimes I take more to one team, like for a Super Bowl, where it's like, nah, off rip. But this one, there's a lot, you know, on both sides that can happen, and that's what's exciting about it. I want to see Saquon win a ring, man, and shit on the Giants. Like that story in itself in the first season.
Word up.
That'd be the
Word
biggest
up.
screw you. You know what I'm saying? But seeing Patrick Mahomes win 3 straight, I mean, it's something we've never seen. And I've said that line as many times as we talk about Patrick Mahomes possibly winning his third one. But it's a real possibility. The man booked his Airbnb months ago because he knew he was going to be in New Orleans for the Super Bowl and not watching it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, call it what you want. I get it, but then that means you got to beat, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to beat 27, or what is it, 25. You got to beat 25 of them.
Hey, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Regardless of how the scales tip this weekend, we will be witnessing greatness, whether it's a three-peat or whether it's Saquon finishing off his revenge tour, as well as Jalen Hurts obviously finishing off the revenge tour.
Let me ask you boys this question, since we're on the topic of the Super Bowl and things of that nature. So I'm gonna ask y'all, if Jalen Hurts win the Super Bowl, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, is he a top 5 quarterback in the league?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You lead a team to a 10-game win streak in the season. Number one in your division, and you beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. There's absolutely no way you can't be called a top 5 quarterback in this league. Put it like this: if Sam Darnold would have beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl this year, I would have given him top 5 quarterback in the league.
Hell, I would say he the greatest of all time.
So we're on the same page. But yeah, you got to put respect on Jalen Hurts' name. You mentioned a good point. I didn't get so into it because I spoke about this a couple weeks ago, where Jalen Hurts has proved us, or not us. Some of us know, some of us don't. Proved to a lot of people that he is a winner. You know what I'm saying? At every level, he makes your team better, and he can beat you in multiple ways. So we've seen it done, and we're still excited to see him do more. So that's a good thing.
Whew, man, it's gonna be a great game. I'm super excited for this game. Like I said, we're gonna witness
halftime
greatness.
show, man. We got K-Dot. Man. What y'all saying? Y'all gonna rock out? Y'all gonna rock out?
You already know first song he probably gonna play is goddamn Not Like Us. You already sweat the ground.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, they I heard a leak of the set. I heard a leak of the set, and let's see if I'm right. But if the leak is true, it ain't my leak. The intro was damn, what's that shit?
Squabble Up.
I think it was Squabble Up. Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna. Yeah, that he a good performer too, so he'll definitely have that bit rocking out though. I want to know if he gonna bring out Lil Wayne. I know he ain't got no songs with Wayne or nothing like that, but he got. I feel like, out of all due respect, you gotta show love to where he's from. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get that. I do get that. Being though that this is a young money, cash money. It's not. They're not fucking with it. K-Dot don't fuck with people like that, bro. He really don't, and he don't care. Not to say he don't respect Wayne on a who he is level, but this is my show. That's probably how I would interpret Kendrick Lamar feels about this Super Bowl show. This is my moment, my show. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. So I would love to see him bring out Lil Wayne. That would be awesome. But I don't really see that happening. I had a tweet that I remember before the show started. I said I'll save it for the podcast. There was a report that Kendrick Perkins came out and said he was the real leader of the Thunder. Quote, it doesn't mean you're the best player. It doesn't mean your best player is your leader. When I was with the Thunder, it wasn't KD. It wasn't Russ. It wasn't James. I was the one leading. So KD comes out and tweets at 6:21 today. He goes, I know this may be a reach, but this comment is by far the craziest shit I've seen this week. Mind you, Luka Doncic got traded this week. That's a funny tweet, bro.
Yo.
Like, I'm just saying that was funny.
Hey, I will say, when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, what is that, 52, 2017? That was the third time that the Patriots had been into the Super Bowl in the previous 4 years, including that year. So they could have won 3 out of 4. But Philly, I know not 3 straight, but Philly came through and made sure that they didn't. So it's going to be an amazing matchup. You got Ant in the chat talking about throw your grandmother's house in the Chiefs. That is not financial advice.
Wait, were you saying like the Eagles are going to be the team to stop it again?
Hey, if they were, the history makes sense. If they were,
I fuck with EP.
The history makes. Hey, I tell you all the time, I'm a humble fan, bro. You know, I'm a humble fan.
Fuck that, y'all. I win 3 straight. Y'all never gonna hear the end of that shit. I don't care if the Chiefs win again. I ain't never gotta watch a Super Bowl again. We are the Super Bowl. Fuck, you think of the Super Bowl, you think of Patrick Mahomes. So, but it's up to, you know what I'm saying, Philly to change that narrative right now and be like, you know what? Let's bring this shit back out NFC. Let's bring this back up to Philly where, you know what I'm saying? Look, Philly, if they won that Super Bowl in 2022, this game, whether this was the case or not, would be even bigger, but they would have 2 appearances, you know, in this decade. And that's a credit to them. And you know, through all the noise, Jalen Hurts, Coach Sirianni, he can't coach. They don't like each other. AJ Brown reading a book, Saquon Barkley. It's worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Wes at Miami Delphia. If you want to follow Wes, please do follow him. Friend of the show. We appreciate you hopping on. Please follow, like, subscribe, all of that. ATS Pod on Twitter, ATS Pod Official on Instagram. June, correct me if I'm wrong. I do that. All right, bet. ATS Pod on Twitter, ATS Pod Official on Instagram. Like, subscribe, comment, so you get the alerts when we do go live twice a week. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody that was in the chat live with us. If you're taking time out of your day to listen to us after the fact, appreciate you so much. Hey, it's Super Bowl weekend. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay hydrated. You know what I'm saying? And we going to see you on Monday. Wes, we might have you back on. We going to talk. We going to talk.
Hey, you already know. I'm going to call. Come here, bitch. You didn't pop my shit.
Hey,
Hit me, you heard me.
Feel that. We going to see y'all